After a long, hot, dry summer, we're back out at the cemetery to repair two grave markers we've had our eyes on for months. This first stone is an infant marker, lost to time, and not even listed in our directory until it was uncovered last year. Research indicates that the child was stillborn or possibly premature. The marker doesn't note a name or gender, only that the baby was born and died on June 22, 1898, to Mr. and Mrs. Samuel and Maggie Williford. The inscription on the stone reads, "Budded on earth to bloom in heaven." A sister who died at age 30 rests nearby, and the parents' graves are to the right of this stone. After carefully digging up the stone and giving it a good cleaning, our game plan here is to epoxy the two pieces back together. It looks like this one's been on the ground for quite some time, just due to the weathering of the letters on the front. Still can't make out who it belongs to.
You say you cannot read the name?
Not yet. I think it's been broke for a while.
Do you have any dates?
It's got that real pretty, multicolored marble like that last one we did.
And no dates either?
I think I think the death date is 1898. It's a child marker, more than likely. I'll put a little more in there, raise it up some.
Oh my goodness, that is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Good?
Yeah, looks like we cheated.
It's gonna work. We just have to come back and infill it. Samuel Williford was born in 1867, and his wife Maggie was born in 1871. Together, they had 7 children, including the infant whose stone we're repairing today. The other 6 children lived into adulthood. Samuel spent his early years as a farmer on rented land, but by 1910, he was a road overseer with the Public Roads Department. By 1920, he worked for the Rock Hill Police Department, and around 1930, he spent 4 years in Columbia, the only time he lived outside York County, serving as a prison guard at the state penitentiary before returning to Rock Hill as a police officer. On Wednesday, May 25, 1949, Samuel died suddenly of a heart attack at home. His wife Maggie was a homemaker and lived to the age of 87, passing away on August 7, 1958. Our second repair is the stone of Margaret Elizabeth Maggie Thomas McCullough. Maggie married Thomas McCullough around 1859, and they had one son, William Thomas McCullough. During the Civil War, her husband Thomas served in the Confederate Army and died with his burial site being unknown. Many families were hit hard by the war, but Maggie's family was hit especially hard as in addition to losing her husband, at least 2 of her brothers, Jonathan Albert and Isaiah Thomas, served in Company A, 6th South Carolina, the local Chester and York Company. Jonathan Albert was killed at the Battle of the Wilderness in May 1864. And Isaiah died 2 months later in Virginia. However, her obituary in the March 24, 1914, Yorkville Enquirer states that 5 of her brothers were killed in the war, evidence of how completely decimated this family was by the Civil War. After the war, Union ARP church records from 1878 in Richburg, South Carolina, list Maggie, her son William T., and her mother, Mrs. Jane Thomas. By 1900 and 1910, Maggie appears in the Catawba Township, York County Census records, living with her son's family. Maggie was the daughter of Jonathan Thomas, who lived from 1792 to 1854, and Nancy Jane McCammon Thomas, who lived from 1797 to 1883. As a side note, we've been preparing to map this cemetery using GPR and GPS technology in November 2025. We're excited to see what we uncover. This cemetery dates to the late 1700s, and we have no complete records before the 1970s, so every fragment we document helps restore the story.
What are we going to do with this stone while we're gone? Just leave it here?
Yeah, we can leave it right where it's at.
We're going to be here in a few days. Okay.
Maybe Monday. How about that?
Okay.
On Monday, we came back to wrap up both projects, starting by removing the bracing from the infant marker. It's always a good moment, seeing a once broken stone standing once again on its own. After the braces came off, I mixed epoxy with white marble dust to create a slurry for infill, which also reinforces the repair line. Back at the widow McCullough stone, we first cleared the original century-old dowel holes. Instead of metal pins, which eventually fell, we measured the depth of all 4 holes and cut fiberglass rods to fit. With the same epoxy mix and Pratley putty, we set the rods and with a little muscle, raised the headstone back upright for the first time in who knows how many years.
I think it's down.
I think so too. That wasn't probably the proper way to do that, but
I would consider it quite down.
yeah, that way's good. This way's pretty dang good too. I wouldn't touch it. We just need to trim the putty off of it. Two stones repaired, 2 lives honored, and a few more pieces of our community's history brought back into the light. If you enjoyed what you saw here, feel free to like and subscribe. There'll be more stories like this in the future, and I'll see you on the next one.